afternoon and welcome to Leo Moon Arts. My name's Fiona and today we're going to make scruffy flowers. Now I just want to give a shout out to Stacy's Crafting Jam. This is where I got this idea from. They were doing that with paper and lace and things like that, gauze, things like that, and a combination of both. So I will do some of that. I've also done some that are just made out of lace as well, and I also have another sort that I've just sort of been playing around with a little bit. Haven't actually made one yet, but just an idea that's come to mind. We'll see how that goes live on air today. So what I've got is this is a bit of avocado dyed printer paper. So I've just broken them down to smaller pieces. This is some very old music sheet. And I've just created different sizes and I've sort of made them sort of a bit circular. So I'll cut up some more of those, and this is just a book page. And also I just take the white pieces off this. Now I don't throw away these pieces that I've pulled off here, because after I finish this session I have a bin. This is my trusty little bin that has all my bits in it. And what I do with those bits is I will create clusters with them. So a lot of this stuff will end up being used as clusters. Sometimes I'll throw things away if I've got too much. Sometimes I don't have a choice. I have to, because there's only so much we can do. I'm just trying to find my little cluster. I'm sure I had one here. Okay. I'm sure I had one that's not on anything. Let me have a look. So I made these charms this morning, and this is one of the clusters that I made from last night's play, and I've put it onto one of the charms that I created this morning. So this is one of the clusters that I made. This is quite a long sort of a cluster, and I just have them sitting around for when I need to use them. And that's basically it. So today you will need scissors, bits of book paper, printed paper, whatever you want to use. I've had these gauze that I brought in a big packet, and then I've just dyed them. I think I did these ones with some sprays, I want to say. And I've got this pink colour, I've got green, I've got that sort of little bit of mauvey colour, I've got some tea dyed ones or coffee dyed ones, a blue one, and that's about it. That's about all I have in that regard. I also have some of this cheesecloth. I'm not sure whether I'll use this. I didn't use this last night when I was doing them, but that doesn't mean to say that today I won't use it. I just grabbed it out just in case I decided to. And so the same thing will apply with when we're using gauze, is that we'll cut a piece out, and I just normally pull it out a bit. I sort of just roughly smush it up a little bit. I mean, you probably don't need even that much, but I sort of just pull it around into a bit of a circular shape, might tuck a bit in here and there and see how it goes. But let's get to starting. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to make some circles. Now you want these to be a bit ratty-tatty, because these are scruffy flowers, and so I'm leaving all the ripped edges. I want some of my pieces to be smaller and some bigger. So this piece I might break up into a smaller one, because that might become a centre of a flower near the very end. You'll also need probably some scissors if you're going to have to cut material up, some buttons, or some, what do they call these things? So I've got this bit of a container of bling, these rhinestones and pearls and things like that. So I did a combination last night of buttons and pearls, and I will show you those in a moment. I'll just finish breaking these off, and I'll so there's 3 smaller circles. I think that's probably enough of that for now. And I've got a few different sizes in the paper here, but I still would like some smaller ones. So this paper here that I'm using is very brittle. So I do have to be a little bit careful with it. But it just feels so good. It's got that really old feel. There's another smaller one. Make this one into a smaller one. So hot glue gun you could use if you have one and you like to use a hot glue gun. I'm not a big fan. I do have one, but I'm not going to use one today. I've also got this bit of old white doily that we're going to have a bit of a play with. I'm going to put some of that through it. I didn't use that last night. My pages, I'm going to make a couple of small ones for it. So just want a couple of smaller circular shapes. So some of these last night, if I'm adding a button to them, I will actually hand sew it all together. If I'm not adding a button, then I won't. So I also have a little bit of net curtaining. This one's a sort of creamy coloured one. I also have this bit of tulle that has a bit of stars on it, pink stars on it. I have this bit of, I don't know what this material is called, but it's got purple, it's like a chiffon-y type stuff. We're going to make a flower out of that one. It's got a bit of white cotton, which is the underlay from this piece of lacy stuff that I've got. It's actually a dress, and I picked it up at the op shop, and now I'm cutting it down to do this. Just some more bits of curtaining material. I've got some little squares of an old, what's this one? This one was a tablecloth, I believe. And these are just some of my other bits. Some of it's a bit of furniture material, like for recovering chairs and stuff. So when I make that, this one's just a bit of a pillowcase. This one was a pillowcase as well. So I like to put these as backers on some of them as well. So I'm going to grab out some of these squares. I'm going to pop them over here as well in our little piles, because we'll probably use those as well as we go through. And I'll just cut bits off as I need them, because I'm not really quite sure what I'm going to need at this stage. So start off with, I do want a piece of material, because I like to use that as the backing for, or the base for any of my flowers that I create. So to start off with, I want a bigger piece. So I'm thinking I'm going to take a big piece of this music material, and I'm just going to sort of smush it around, but not too much. I just want it to get a bit rough and ragged. I'm going to pop that onto there, and we'll do more to that later. So now I'm going to grab, so it's a matter of layering things and see what you like. So I've just got this bit of pink gauze, and I want it to be really scruffy, so I'm just going to pull it all out of shape, and that'll be my next layer. Yeah. Then I'm going to grab one of the mid-sized pink pieces. So this piece, I'm actually going to screw it up into a little ball, and then I'm going to unfold it very carefully so you don't rip it. And then I'm going to pop that piece in the middle. Okay, so that's getting there. So I think I might want a piece of, oh yep, I can use a piece of this. So I'm just going to cut the corners off just to round it off a little bit. I'm going to put a bit of this in here. I might use a little bit of this. I haven't used any of this lace in any of the other ones, so we'll have a go with this bit of lace as well, see what it's like. Maybe on that piece we'll maybe put I'll have to use it in the next one, I think. I'm going to put a little, I'm going to do the same with a bit of book page. I'm just going to screw it up, and this is a smaller piece. Pull it all back out and pop it in here. Okay, so and here's my little piece that I'm going to glue it all to. So I'm not going to put a button in this one. I'm going to get some Couture Creations quick dry adhesive, goes that way, and I'm just going to put a little dab on there. Do my lid back up because this dries pretty quick. Then I'm going to grab my piece of sheet music. I'm going to pop that on there. Going to grab put a little bit of dot of glue on there again. I'll grab my bit of gauze. Another little bit of glue. Open the hole up a little bit for it. Oops. I'll fix that up when I put this back in. So I'm just grabbing my pink bit of paper that I have. A little bit of cream coloured gauze curtaining material. And I think I actually want a bit of, where's that softer lace one? Yeah, this one. I think I want a piece of this in there as well. So I've just cut a little square and I'm just going to sort of round it off a little bit. Okay, I'm going to pop that one in there as well. And I'm going to put some glue on top. And because it's that gauzy type stuff, it'll go right through with those. So now I've just got to wait for this to dry a little bit. But I'm just going to sort of start squishing all my pieces in together. I'm going to grab, I think I'm going to put a bit of bling on this one. So I've got to decide on what I want. Maybe a size flower, maybe one of my big flat back pearls. Yes, that's lovely. So now that that's on there, actually I might just pull that, no, I'll be leaving that one on. I'm just going to grab the edges of my flower and I'm going to really smush them up around the outside of that. And then we have our first little flower. And it's as simple as that, basically, all the way along. So now, so that's a paper and material one. So we've made that one now. I'm going to put that aside. So that's our first one that we've made. Our next one that we're going to make, I'm going to make solely out of material. So I'm going to start with some of this as a base. We're not going to really see this. Do I have a lighter here? This material is a little bit it frays quite a lot, so I'm wanting to not have to, I don't know where my lighter has got to that I normally have in here. Okay. We're not going to really see this underneath. So the next thing we're going to do, I might add a bit of this, no, paper first. I think I might have a bit of this. No, we're doing all material this time, aren't we? Yes. So I'm going to go with a bit of the brown gauze. Actually, no, I might have green instead. I'm just going to take a bit of this green gauze. I'm going to open it all out and smush it around a bit. So that's our first bit. I'm not too worried about what it looks like at this stage. Then I'm going to grab a piece of this curtain material, the creamy coloured one. Now, because this one is all material, I will put a button on it and I will, okay, yep, that works. Now I want, have I got any of that green in a slightly bigger piece? Yes, I do, in some squares. So I'm just going to take a bit of this green tablecloth. I might just trim these corners off a little bit. Just round them just a little bit. I grab that one, and then I'm going to grab a piece of this curtain material. I'm going to do the same with it. I'm going to just round those corners a little bit. put that one in. I think I want a piece of the pinky coloured gauze now. Let's put a piece of this. Open it right out and then just sort of pull it. So this all gives it a bit of scruffiness. No, that's not what I'm after. I wish I had a pink piece of that cheesecloth. I might just take a little bit. That's probably a bit thin, that bit. Oh no, that will work. Okay, so I'm just going to grab some lengths of this. I'm going to put it across here and not. Oops. Okay. And I'm going to try a piece of this lace in the centre. To cut that seam off. So I'm going to put a bit of this in the centre. Okay, grab my needle and thread. Now I'm just taking a needle and thread that I was using last night. This one has a little bit of a greeny coloured, pale green, pastel green cotton in it. Yeah, I've got to decide on a button for this one. Okay. I want something dark. Oh, that's a bit big, I think. I do prefer a darker centre when I do these. But I thought I might. That one's quite nice. Have a look. I've got this little shank button. I think that looks good. Okay, that's what I'm going to go with. So I'm just going to grab this and I'm going to put a stitch in from underneath. Bring it through. Thread it through my shank. Oops. Just going to poke it back through there. Pull the right piece, Fiona. Grab the needle. There we go. Just going to pull that through. Just tighten that up a bit. And I'll bring this cotton back up through here again. Pop it through the shank underneath. If I can see, I'd be right. Okay, so this is probably going to be a little bit difficult for you to see what I'm doing too, but I'm just poking the needle through the shank. Pulling it through and popping it back down the other side. And I'll do it one more time. Oh, it's a bit far away. Take that one out. Pop it through my shank. If I could see my shank, I would be in great form. Around here. Here we go. Bring it through the shank. Back down the other side, and then I'm just going to make a knot underneath. So I'm just going to slip it through the little bit of the material. Oops. And put it through the loop twice and pull tight. That's done. And I'm just going to trim these little pieces around here because I don't want them too long outside of the edge of it. But there we have. I'm just going to do the same thing as what I did with the last one. I'm going to scrunch all of these up. And there we have a cute little flower. You might need to trim some of this back a little bit. The all lace one. So there we go. Using up our scraps and just bits of scrap lace, cheap lace that you would buy from, I think I brought most of mine from the op shop. Some of it I had in my cupboard that I don't use any longer. So yeah, so I thought these were pretty cute. So that's our second style of button. So we've got our paper We've got our lace or laces on material ones. And I've stitched one and I've glued one. And now we're going to go for a different style altogether. And I haven't done this one before. So we're going to start off, I think we'll use the purple. I think I'm going to make this the purple one. So I'm going to wrap this around my hand. However many times you would like yours to be. I'm just going to pull it off here. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Okay, I'm back. I've just got this bit of crochet cotton and I'm going to cut a length off. So this is the piece that I had wrapped around my hand. I'm going to pop that down. Oops. I'm going to pop that across there. I'm going to tie this in the middle. Take it around this side and tie it off nice. Left over right. Right over left. If I can get come through there and through the hole. Just come here. That's it. Okay, so I've, whoops, tied that off pretty tight. No, I haven't. Not tight enough apparently. Maybe I need a double length. Might double it over, might make it a little stronger. Right over left. So I haven't made this one before. This is the first time, and I'm sure it's probably been done before. It was just an idea that I came up with last night when I was playing around with those other ones. Okay, I'm not going to cut that bit of string off yet, but my thing was I was going to cut it up through those. And I'm going to do the same on this side. Did I get them all? No, I haven't, because I've got some on this side. And I'm not really that worried about how they're all sitting, but then I just thought if I just pull these around in a bit of a circle, like so, and I thought that if I chopped, I think I might chop into these a little bit, just make them a bit more flower-like. There we go. And then pull these around a bit more. I'm going to leave it like that for a minute. I'm going to get something to pop in the centre. I may have put too much on, perhaps. It's too big. That look nice. That's a shank. I don't really want a shank one. Yep, that will work. Okay, so I'm just going to tie this a little tighter. Again, I'm just going to tie that over on the other side. And then I'm going to put some stitches through it. Okay, now I'm just going to snip that off. And I'm just playing with it as I go, just to get it to do what I want it to do, basically, and see if I can get it to work. So I don't know whether this is going to be a work or a fail, this one, but I always have a bit of fun trying a few new things. So, okay, so let's start moving them about a bit. It's a little bit like pom-poms, isn't it? This sort of thing. It's making me think of pom-poms when I'm doing this. Maybe I've made it too thick. You know, maybe I've had too much of the chiffony, tooly type stuff underneath. Maybe that's That's not sitting quite the way I want it to. Let's put a button on it and see how we go. Okay. I need to rethread a needle. Oops. Okay. I am sort of wondering whether when I sew this in, whether I also wrap some cotton or something going the other way. So I'll show you what I mean. So we've got this bit of cotton that's going this way, but if I split this apart and maybe put another piece of cotton going this way, maybe it would help the flower to sit better. Okay, that's better. I think it'll work okay. Okay, let's see how we go. So I'm going to stitch this button on. I'm going to put it, stitch through all of those layers. Put my button on. Pull it up. Push it through. Oops. There we go. So this one might be a little bulky for journaling. Oh, I suppose it depends if you like a bulky journal. I don't mind a bulky journal, so this is not going to worry me at all. But these would even be nice on gift cards, presents that you make for somebody else if you're making something, you know, just to put on top of your box. Okay, I'm not unhappy with that. I'm sure it's probably been done before. Like I said, it was just that when I was thinking about it last night, when I was playing with the other flowers that I was creating, I thought this one might be a nice one too. Actually, the reason I made this purple one too was because I have a certain person in mind to give this one to, and she just loves purple. Okay, so you could go in with your scissors and you could probably chip out a little bit more of the tulle type stuff that we're using, the chiffon or whatever it is. I think that's what it is, a bit of chiffon-y type stuff. Yeah, but I don't think that's too bad. It's nice and it's a bit of a puffy sort of a flower. Be nice on a hairband, you know, like kids' hair ties and stuff. That'd look pretty cool. I'm just going to chip into this a little bit. Okay. It needs to come down there a bit. That's it. This one needs to come up here a bit. Okay, just trim it down a little bit. Okay, so this is meant to be a short video today. So here we have 3 different styles of flower that you can create using some of your scraps and a little bit of imagination. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please, if you're not already subscribed, I really appreciate it if you could subscribe and like. And if you've got any comments, I would love to hear them. And if there's anything you'd like me to have a go at, feel free to drop a line underneath, and I'll certainly give it a go. And if I can't, I will certainly let you know. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Bye.